in this video 3 symptoms that are not ascension symptoms, contrary to what seems to be popular belief. And I say seems to be because I've seen this being promoted quite a few times in the quote-unquote spiritual community. And so the logic goes, if you have these symptoms, you're ascending into the heavens. You are going into the 5D and the 12D dimensions, right? So don't worry if you have them. And I just want to share with you why I think, my opinion, right? My asshole, my opinion. All of us have assholes. All of us, by extension, have opinions too. Why I think that is a little bit of a bullshit there, all right? So, ascension symptom number 1 that is not an ascension symptom is ringing in the ears. Some of you guys might have heard this before. If you're experiencing ringing in the ears, that's because your angels are speaking to you, or you're getting a spiritual message, right? I've heard this many times, actually. I've heard this many times. Okay, ringing in the ears is mucus. It's a buildup of earwax and is a buildup of mucus. And I know this because at the moment I'm undergoing a long fast, and I am getting a lot of mucus out through my ears because I've actually had this problem for a long time. I've had 4 ear infections in the past. I've taken silly me at the time. I've taken 3 antibiotic prescriptions, each lasting 7 to 10 days, because that's a persistent problem for me. And whenever the ear infection was coming onto me, I would begin to get ringing in the ears. And funny enough, now as I'm fasting, because when you're fasting, your body begins to push all the toxicity, all the unnecessary garbage and waste and wax and mucus and all that, begins to push it out. And so for instance, when you get a flu, the body begins to push because it's a buildup of toxicity, so the body will push the toxins out through your whichever hole it can, basically, right? Ears, nose, buildup of mucus in your head area. So right now I'm actually getting ringing in the ears because this one here, my right ear, for the last 3-4 days have been pretty much almost entirely clogged. But if I like play around with it a little bit like this, then I can open it. And again, it's my body trying to deal with a very persistent problem that I've had for like at least a decade now. So I'm experiencing ringing in the ears, and I can assure you, no angels speaking to me, and I'm not ascending to the heavens, and I'm not becoming a Super Saiyan. So ringing in the ears, yeah, it's just usually like a buildup of things in your head, and the body's trying to push them through your ears. It could be other reasons to it, but my point being, it's health related. It's your physical body. It's health related. It's health related. All right. So again, I'm just giving my opinion here. Okay. If you have the opinion otherwise, you're entitled to your asshole as much as I'm entitled to my asshole. All right. And number 2, chaotic dreams. Chaotic dreams. Chaotic dreams. Okay, I want to tell you guys a story here. So this again, like this whole video is my opinion, my asshole, but I also have some experience in everything that I'm about to talk about. So the experience that I had is I was in Thailand and I had to go to Malaysia for a visa run, right? You just gotta hop over the border, come back in. And I was eating pretty clean at the time, like for a pretty prolonged period of time. Then I went to this hotel and it had nothing around, but they had the local restaurant in the hotel, and they had fries, and they had like fried chips and fries and whatever else, and that's all I could buy that day. So I was like, whatever, let's just buy it. I'm bored, I got nothing to do here. And I just kind of ate it out of boredom. So I had like some fried chips, like potatoes and some other things too. Like a pretty unhealthy meal, right? Pretty unhealthy. I haven't had anything like that in my body for a long time. And I had the most chaotic nightmares in my life that night. And when I woke up, I'm like, and I felt really bad physically speaking too, which we'll get to in number 3. And that began to raise my awareness to possibly the food that we eat affecting our dreams. And I started to notice this pattern in my life. And so I would notice that if I was to clean up my body to a certain level for a while, and then if I was to increase its sensitivity in the same way that when you are a virgin smoker, you've never smoked, and you smoke, you start to cough, that once the sensitivity is heightened and you put something that has no business being there, your body will react negatively physically. But I've noticed that my dreams become chaotic and I could potentially have nightmares as well. And I began to notice this pattern, and it became so noticeable that it was no longer for me a hypothesis. It was for me, on a personal level, it became fact that so much of my chaotic dreams and nightmares have to do with primarily my diet. Of course, there's also my mental state. Fears is another one, right? So if you're getting chaotic dreams, so food is one thing, fears is another one. If you've got fears about something, if you're holding on to something. So another story here. I grew up, my father, God bless him, he beat me up a lot, like a lot, because he just thought that's the best thing to do, because that's what his dad did to him, and that's the culture, that's how the culture works, right? So he beat me up a lot, and I held on to that resentment until about 23 when I was 23 years old, and I was getting so many dreams of him beating me up and of us fighting and arguing, even though we didn't live in the same country anymore. I would barely speak to him. I didn't have particularly bad relationship with him. It's just, like just would speak to him a few times a year. And then I was doing some forgiveness work, trying to forgive those who, quote unquote, wronged me. And I began to feel this compassion for him. His dad did it to him. He didn't know any better, kind of like Jesus on the cross. Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. And I let go of that. I had a revolutionary period where I was letting go of the anger, the crying, and I wrote some things in my journal. Dreams completely stopped. No more unpleasant dreams involving my dad. So, yeah, through this process of observation, I realized that no, just because your dreams are chaotic and you're being abducted by aliens and, you're getting monsters and reptilians, chasing you in dreams, it doesn't mean you're ascending into the heavens, right? It doesn't mean you're like holier than thou and like, spiritual and shit, right? It doesn't mean that. It just doesn't. It means there's some shit you gotta figure out in this physical plane, whether it's an emotional thing or whether it's a physical, you're eating something that you shouldn't be eating. So yeah. Number 3, pains in the body. I've seen this a lot too. If you're experiencing intense headaches, an intense pressure between your third eye, then just know that you are on your way to ascension. No, this intense pressure here in your third eye is your sinuses. Your sinuses are inflamed. And if you clean up your body and if you clean out your sinuses, and it may take a while for you, depending, I have pretty persistent sinus issues. Currently still working on them, right? But they've gotten a lot better over the last couple of years, just because I'm trying to, clean up my diet and trying to, do some more fasting and all. But yeah, this pressure will be relieved. And same with your physical, your pressure in your shoulders. Yeah, so there was, so again, experience. I don't know the timelines here, but I went on a period of time. I ate bad food, like just fried stuff, crisps, chips, chocolate, etc. And then I got on a juice cleanse, coconut water and juices. And the first 2 weeks, I had intense pains in my lower legs, intense. 2 to 3 weeks. I think it was about, actually maybe even up to a month. Anyway, doesn't matter the timelines, but the conclusion of that, after 2, 3 or 4 weeks, completely gone. I had such problems standing on my feet, right? Completely gone. What was happening is my body was dumping those toxins and just trying to clean itself. Once it did so, those pains in my knees, those pains in on my knees, those pains in my lower legs, gone, completely gone. You see? So yeah, so if you're having pains in your body, pressure between your third eye is opening, right? Chances are, look, I'm not gonna deny that there could be something to that, okay? That's why I'm saying this is my opinion. I can't tell you for a fact what I'm saying here is correct, and it probably isn't 100% correct, but I think there's a good level of accuracy to what I'm saying. If you're experiencing pains in your body, you got acidity going on, my friend. Take care of your diet and take care of your stress levels, because stress creates acidity in the body. Take care of those things and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll get rid of those pains, and go on a fast, go on a juice cleanse, go on a fruit cleanse, go on a, whatever, go on something that's lighter, that's, in the beginning you may experience even more pain, but then that goes away. That's the if you have persistent pain for like that's been there for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, chronic pain, like you're doing something wrong on a diet level, most likely. Okay, so these, in my humble opinion, are not ascension symptoms most of the time, at least. Okay, most of the time they're not ascension symptoms. They are just symptoms of life, of disobeying the laws of nature, of eating foods you're not supposed to eat, of stressing too much, of holding on to resentment, of negative emotions. Okay, so there you go, I said it. And yeah, so thank you for watching this video, guys. If you would like to donate to this channel, would really appreciate it. The link is down below in the description. I also do one-on-one consultations. Until next time, may the force be with you.